more to see.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Future Watch, where we like to break down Web3 in a very simple manner. We are back. Excuse me. Windstorms, any kind of storms, it's not going to stop us, guys. The show will keep moving on. And as we keep moving on, I want to really say thank you, everybody, for the kind words. Everyone kind of wished us, hopefully you're safe. Basically, guys, we had a freak windstorm yesterday. It knocked out the power through half of the island. We're fine, other than we didn't have internet and we didn't have power. So guess what? We read our comic books yesterday. So let's go. One up on us. Comic guy, if you're hearing from the back, we read some comic books last night. But guys, let's get back to the show. Today we have Cowabunga Chan from VeeFriends, as well as Fanable in the studio tonight to talk about VeeFriends as well as himself. He also has a Chris Chan Media, which is his own business. He's also a creative director and a marketer. So I can't wait to talk story with this guy and to see what he's doing with his community building out here. And then also, guys, we have D and Metabeast in the studio. Metabeast is going to be taking us to a journey to On Cyber for his segment of virtual destinations. Now, guys, before we get started, I have D and Metabeast in the studio. What are you guys doing today? How are you doing, Metabeast?
I'm doing all right, I guess. Nothing exciting.
Right on.
Like your globe there. Yeah, that's a cool background you got.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great day today. Yeah, no storm today.
We didn't lose our roof, D.
A complete 180. It's unbelievable how things can change weather-wise so quickly. But yeah, thanks everybody for sticking around and coming back to the show today, and yeah, just bearing with us as we had to just postpone it a little bit hectic yesterday, but we're here and we're fine.
You guys,
how are you?
Did you
What's
get
that?
your tickets? Do you have your tickets?
Oh yes. Yes, we got our tickets.
Saturday we're gonna look up Superman, guys. We're a big DC family over here, by the way, so we're super stoked that not only is DC doing very well in the movie theaters, that we're going to be able to see a new Superman movie. I can't wait, guys. But let's get back to the meat and potatoes of what we're going to be doing today, guys. We're going to be talking about VeeFriends today with Cowabunga Chan. And what is VeeFriends? Well, it is an NFT project that was created by Gary V, and it was launched in 2021, featuring 268 unique cartoon characters representing traits like kindness and ambition. It combines digital collectibles with real-world utility, like access to VCon, a Web3 conference, and exclusive experiences with Gary Vee himself, fostering a community around positivity and personal growth. And D and I, we love community building here. We have our own NFT project with the UCBC, so we're looking forward to talking with him about all these things. And guys, before we get him into the studio, we'll be right back after this commercial break.
Let's go.
Aloha, everyone. I'm your host, Jenna, one of many AI employees here at True Media Group. Here at True, bringing quality content to the community means everything to us. Live shows like Virtual Radio, Future Watch, Enter the Verse, and Aloha Friday. We cover a wide range of content. We also have our AI video content, like Lost Tides, which is an underwater adventure, and The Rider, which is our sci-fi alien thriller. And that's just the beginning. If you're interested in our content or other services we have to offer, feel free to message us. We're happy to connect with you. I'm your AI host, Jenna, and make sure to subscribe to True Media Group, the future of content.
Building tomorrow with creative life. True Media, we lead the way. In the metaverse, we're here to stay.
I hope everybody enjoyed Jenna. She was created off of a picture, guys. You're going to see more of Jenna, and there's more to come of all of that in the days to come. But guys, also one last preview before we get our guests in the studio, because I know you guys have been waiting. Episode 2 of The Rider is done, and here's a sneak peek.
What?
I
See,
am
I didn't
so
even see that.
I'm so stoked for that one, guys. I finished it last night. It's way more action packed than the first episode, guys. If you haven't seen the first episode, The Writer, go and watch it on our YouTube channel. This is AI original content that we're producing out here. We have Lost Tides, The Writer, Metal Wars, as well as Polly the Panda, and more to come with that, guys. But that is all that I've got for commercials today, D. Anything else before we get Cowabunga in the studio?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. I mean, I was blown. I'm always blown away by like what you produce because I fell asleep when you were doing that, so I didn't see it until because usually, yes, I'm his wife, and so I get to preview a lot of things before they go live, but not this one. So like,
Nope.
what? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
this
awesome.
one I'm proud of. This one is fun, so I can't wait. I'm trying to get it ready. I'm in post production for it for Friday, so hopefully we get to release it on Aloha Friday this Friday. If not, it'll be released on the weekend for you guys. But
Yes.
without further ado, guys, let's get Cowabunga-chan in the studio, guys. You have been waiting. Let's go. We'll be
Let's
right
go.
back. Ladies and gentlemen, Cowabunga-chan. I hear he is a VeeFriends ambassador, I think. What's up, man? How are you?
What's going on, guys? Thank you so much for having me here in the live stream. I'm blown away by the whole setup, the intros, all the commercials, what you're doing with AI. Super awesome. So thank you for having me.
Awesome. And I am looking forward to this conversation. We had Aaron on the show, I think 2 weeks back from Fanable. Really enjoyed his vibe, and I know you guys vibe together every week on the Fanable live stream. So before we kind of get involved or get involved with what you're doing with VeeFriends and Fanable, kind of let the audience know who you are, how you kind of found this space, and what you're doing here.
I love that. That's awesome. Aaron's awesome, man. He's got great energy, doesn't he?
Yeah,
great guy.
He's super cool, and he's a nerd like me, so I love that.
Yo, I feel like we're all nerds here in Web3 for sure. So I am Cowabunga. My name is Chris Chan. I have a company, Chris Chan Media, based out of Florida here. I'm basically a creative director who specializes in videography and marketing strategy. And so I've been working with clients like Disney and Golf Channel and all these other big name brands for a while. And that's kind of like my day job that I do. And my heart is in my community. So I do a lot of stuff with my town. I have my own community brand. And I love that about you guys too, that you've got that community-based mindset about that. So that's super cool. So I've been around for a while in this space. Actually, not too long. I entered in 2021, so I'm pretty young to the space. But I was there during the last run, and got to see all the fun with the crypto side and how that liquidity kind of came over into the NFT side and kind of got deep into all that and everything. But yeah, I mean, that's me in a nutshell. I really enjoy being a creative director. I've got to work with some really great products and projects and people. And, so much of what I do, I'm on an NDA, so I don't even get to share half the time what it is that I'm working on and what I'm doing. One of the recent things I just did was for Monster Jam. I know there's a lot of people who are big Monster Jam fans out there. And I just got to do some stuff for the big award stuff coming out. I'm actually in the background. Hopefully the internet's not messing up too much here, but I'm downloading a bunch of footage to work on that as well. So I love storytelling and sharing information with people like that. And I really enjoy the Web3 space. I think it's the future, and I really want to be involved there. I'm not a true artist. I call them pure artists. I don't draw, but I have vision to bring things to life and create things. And that's why I'm that creative director. So I work a lot with designers and animators and people to help bring those visions to life. And I'm also like an entrepreneur by heart. So I love to start and create things and build stuff. And my brain just won't stop. I love to make those connections and find those pieces and parts. So, but yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell. I love Ninja Turtles. That's why my nickname is Cowabunga in the Web3 space. You can't go wrong with those Ninja Turtle vibes. And we talked about it earlier. Definitely a Michelangelo fan. That's my jam for sure. So.
Okay. So I can see Dee's happy with that. Hey, we got a lot of synergies here. I gotta say, for one, I've worked with the Golf Channel before too. I do communication in my real job, in my outside job from here, and so I've done work for the senior skins, and I had to do well, without doxing myself, I had to do some connection things for the Golf Channel. So I've worked with them in Hawaii specifically, NDA as well. So I can't say too much, but I have worked with them before. So that's kind of funny. And, a lot of what you said I can resonate with. I'm not an artist per se where I am an artist of the pen or the pencil, but I do have a lot of things in my head. And I always tell my wife that I love that I found this space, because for me, Cowabunga, I have this thing where like I have to use the creativity to let it out. I have this, it's an outlet for me. If not, it drives me crazy. And D knows this, because I could be like lying in bed and all of a sudden I'll be going like, it'd be cool, D, having an AI influencer named Jenna. You know what I mean? Something like that, right?
And then boom, there she is. Like you're not even
Right.
about it too. I love that.
Yeah. So I mean, like for me, like, and just to, and I'll pass it over to D and Metabeast after, but like a lot of what you said, I kind of resonate with as well. I've been in communications. In reality, I would prefer to do this. I'm a creative mind, or creative, they say. Everything here is because I have to let it out of my head. We've been doing it for 3 years as a podcast. I know some people don't like the commercialized things where we do intros and outros, but for me, I have to have that because I have a structured mind and I need these things to be in a certain order. So, I feel like we're having a really good conversation. But before I start talking too much, because I'm a thing called Portuguese or Portuguese, I won't shut up. D, go ahead.
No, I'm already loving the conversation already, and there's like just a lot of things in common with you, Cowabunga. Or do you want to be called Cowabunga, or how do you want us to call?
Oh yeah, definitely in the Web3 space.
Okay.
Nobody in my hometown calls me Cowabunga. It's always my full name, Chris Chan.
Yeah.
But here, I love that. Cowabunga is all the way up. I love the vibes.
Okay, cool. First of all, I gotta say your microphone, I love that. Like changing all the colors.
Yeah, and it's like one
Yes.
of those where it's
Oh,
muted.
that's
You know what I mean?
cool.
So I can tap it real
Whoa.
quick. So yeah, thanks. That's fun.
Oh,
It's
that's
one of
cool.
the first times I'm using it too. It's not often that I get to pull it out. So
Oh, cool. I gotta go and find one of those because I have this cheap one over here. But anyway, yeah, I feel like we're gonna have lots of great conversation. Just like hearing your brief description and story of yourself, it seems like you just do like so much. Like a one-man show, or do you have like people to help you?
yeah. So that's I'm a running gunner, and when it comes to video production, and so I kind of have to be the one-man show. So I'm usually doing the creative beforehand, executing and being the producer director on set, whatever I'm doing, and filming. And while I'm filming, I'm kind of editing in my head, and then when I get back, I'm also piecing the story together because I kind of know what I shot, and those I like to choose unique angles and make it different. And so, yeah, I do it all. I have in the past, I've built a few different companies, and one of them was a pretty big community brand, and we had a few employees and a lot of stuff going on there, which was a lot of fun. But now I'm on my own again, and I'm growing a new community brand, and just focusing on my regular business that's going on all the time. But yeah, it's just me at the moment, and I love it. I love the grind.
Yeah, you're your own boss. And the one thing that you're saying about your own community, that's I keep forgetting, like the vibe card or
Oh yes. So
right?
my town is called Winter Garden, and I created a brand called Winter Garden Vibes. And I thought, having a community online is great, and a social media following is great. But I created we're a golf cart district town, so there's a lot of golf carts in our space, and everyone's kind of able to drive around.
Us too.
Really? Oh, I love it.
Hawaii, golf
Yeah,
courses
that makes
everywhere,
sense
man.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So I built a trailer bar. So a trailer that's got 6 bar stools around it, an umbrella, LEDs, a refrigerator on it, a microphone, like everything you can think of, a television, and it is attached to my golf cart. So I can drive it around town, park it, and every single time I go live or I do a podcast or an interview, the background is different. The scenery changes.
Oh, wow.
So same show, new vibe, and it just kind of brings everybody into that space where they're like, wow, this is awesome. I didn't know Winter Garden could do all these fun things and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, the vibes
So
cart,
cool.
it's a blast.
Yeah, that's so cool. That's like that would be so cool here too. But
Oh,
yeah, I
that
just
would
saw
drive,
that.
yeah.
I think it was maybe I want to say last year, like when I was scrolling through the timelines and stuff, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. Like you're just going around town and just getting people like, and it's like different people wherever you go, right? It's not like the
Exactly.
same
Yeah.
people over and over, and
Yeah.
just to like interacting and connecting like on the go. That is like so cool, and you have your
Yes.
own.
And people
amazing.
make great content and they have great stories to tell. And it's nice. I just love to meet them where they're at, have a conversation with them. A lot of times I'll film it and I won't even do anything with it. It's just I wanted to be there to meet that person and have that conversation because they seem like they wanted to have one. And then sometimes they got some really good stories and I'm able to kind of pull some stuff from it. So
yeah, very cool. I just wanted to give you a shout out on that. But Metabeast, go ahead if you had anything to add to
Do you have any images of this? Because I'm picturing
yeah.
one of those bicycle pedaling.
That is a similar vibe. Yeah, I get that a lot from people. Bam! Oh my gosh, what a great photo to choose right there. That's it.
That looks more acceptable to me.
Yeah.
Now I know why you do work for the Golf Channel.
Yeah. I even have like green AstroTurf on it to like kind of bring that
so
outside vibe on top of it.
Put you in the fields, on location. So cool.
That's pretty rad.
That's so cool to like maybe even like in the winter time to go. You know how people go caroling, just to have like something to that aspect. Go like door to door kind of thing.
Cruise around and bring some joy and hang out. Yeah,
Santa Cowabunga.
Yeah, Cowabunga.
Yeah.
I just got a poker set for it too, so we're gonna do some poker nights down by the lake and watch the sunset. Hopefully, bugs don't get too crazy on us.
Have you guys ever heard of a progressive dinner?
No.
No. Okay, so I've done one of these, and this would be awesome. It's where you start at one person's house, and you have like hors d'oeuvres and a cocktail, and you go to somebody else's house for like the main course and however many courses you want to divvy it up between. But
dude, I love that.
One way to travel in between.
Jump on, let's head to the next location, have fun.
Yeah.
They do. There's a local charity here called 8 Waves, and they do this holiday home of tours, or holiday tour of homes during the Christmas time. And it's a neighborhood and they have all these different locations that they go to. And so this year, hopefully we're going to be out there and kind of travel along the way with some folks and kind of go to space to space doing almost the same thing. But we're just looking at Christmas trees and drinking. So
that's even better.
So I kind of want to dial it back to before we get to the VeeFriends, I kind of want to talk with you about the content, because I really want to know what kind of got you started at becoming a creative director and actually starting your business, if you don't mind me asking.
Great question. I could even go back to, I've always enjoyed filming, because when I was in high school, I got a laptop when I was 17 in my 18th birthday, and it really got me the ability to do my own digital editing using Windows Movie Maker, which was a lot of fun. I ended up going to college trying to do, business school because my dad was successful and I thought that was really great. And I found out like numbers are hard. I'm like, I can't do numbers. I'm like, I'm a creative. So in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, my youth group leader was like really into video editing, and he did some cool things where like we would jump in the pool and he would reverse it and we'd go in. I'm like, what? This is cool. And when I got to 9th grade, I was kind of doing that, taking VHS tapes, putting it in and putting the other one in, hit play record.
Same here, man.
Yeah, that's how we used to edit. Like it was
That's how we edited. We stacked them.
Yeah. So when I got to my senior year and I got that laptop, I was in a club and they needed some videos, and I was just like, oh, I can do it. And one day I just took out the video camera, filmed a series of things, and edited the video. I was like, wow, I'm a chronological thought process. Like I can absolutely do that. Get this, Humble Creative. That's my boy. That's my best friend right there. Love him. He's amazing.
Awesome.
Super awesome guy. His name's Patrick. He's amazing. And I just doxed you.
Shout out, Patrick.
Shout out, Patrick. And Patrick was there with me in high school, actually filming and doing all these really fun things. So fast forward to college, don't like numbers, end up getting a degree in electronic media and broadcast and communications. and ended up teaching my teachers how to do all the software. I was a TA for them for like 5 semesters and just got ridiculous credits. I didn't learn anything. I was teaching the class for them. It was crazy. But yeah, so that was in UNF and stuff. I came out of that, and my first job outside of delivering Chinese food and surfing all day, my first job was with a small video editing company. So a single guy, and he did 99% all of Disney Yellow Shoes creative marketing videos. So this guy was like, and Yellow Shoes Creative is one of the biggest production houses within inside of Disney. They do all of the national brand stuff. So I got brought into that space and learned right away how to deal with producers, how to work with scripts, how to take like all these all this footage, 100,000 gigabytes, just and be able to take that and create stories from scripts. And so after about 4.5 years of doing that, it was a lot of fun. I learned a ton of stuff. And I was able to start my own company here in Winter Garden. It was called Think Minion. It's still my holdings company. It's what I do. And I just do Chris Chan Media because personal branding is where it's at right now. And so for the last, for the last 11 years or so, I've owned my own company and have been just in this space growing and doing all this. And so when I started my own company, I had to put on all the hats. So that's where I was directing and doing the video stuff, producing. And I was really into the technology stuff. One of the first things I found was like augmented reality. So I would take like my business card in like 2014 and I would like overlay my demo reel on it. So you just take my phone up and use the app and scan the picture, not a QR code, but my actual business card, and my demo would start playing. And it would just freak people out. And they'd be like, oh, this is so cool. And so I was always kind of like ahead of the curve with that kind of stuff. And we were using, the hoverboards that all the kids have all these days, the little Segways. And I was on to that about 2 years before they came out. So I was using that for production and people were just blown away. Now everybody uses it all the time and I love it. And I think right after they came out, they were blowing up or something like that. Remember that time when the Segways were like catching on fire? So it kind of ruined it for everyone. You couldn't take the airplanes.
Yeah, man, I use a push cart. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. Now I use my one wheel. That's actually the picture you have there. I'm on my one wheel cruising with my DJI Ronin 4D there. But yeah, so that's kind of how I got into the space. And then, God blessed me with some really great skills, and I made some good money my first year working with Arribas Brothers out of Disney. They've got 28 locations around the world, and they're a third party with inside of Disney, and they're one of my main clients right now. And so yeah, I got to do all that, and that's why I started my community brand, just to start giving back, and it's been amazing ever since.
I love that. And like I said, there's a lot of synergies in your story. For me, I grew up editing as well. I was a part of a Hawaiian academy. And so a lot of the kids that were in that academy, they weren't really into the tech side. They were more into the culture side. I was really into the tech. So I would run all the production. I had like one of those huge Panasonic telereporters that had a VHS on there. We used to do a video production. We had mixing. We had a mixing board. We had all these VHS kind of stacked to it, monitors. And then I was a part of a paintball league. I filmed around the entire U.S., and that's kind of when I kind of honed my skills on filming. And then, I ended up doing a communication, and I stopped doing all that stuff. And it was not until I got into this Web3 space that I was really interested in the production side, mainly from doing the podcasts and stuff like that, though. But so, like I said, there's a little bit of synergies from your story, and I really like that. And I love, how you kind of got here, the journey to get into this space. A lot of people in this space has similar journeys of how to find this space, whether you're here for the NFT side, the community side, the bag side, or if you're here for the tech, which I'm here for. It's a lot of fun for this space. Dee, go ahead.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. And like when you were talking about yourself, Cowabunga, that reminded me of like a mix too with Hinano and one of our really good friends, Video Shane, because he also does video production, editing, shoots like that. And then he also has like a way where he envisions it in his mind while he's on location. And then when he's back home or in whatever studio, putting everything together. So yeah, I feel like you and Hinano are gonna be maybe DMing later in the back channels. Like,
Let's go.
what do you think about this dude? Like, I can just already see him doing that. So yeah, thank you for sharing your story with us. And like I put in the chats. Yeah, it takes me back to my youth group days. When you were talking about some things. But anyways, we can go on to VeeFriends if you guys are ready to dive into that world.
The
The VeeFriends.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, so first of all, like, so how did you come across VeeFriends? Because I've seen it all along the timelines. I didn't really like dive into it or even like really give it a second thought when I was like going through timelines until recently when Nas Clint, you probably know him.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing. So him and his son do whatnot shows, and they were like, oh, we're gonna do like, you know, VeeFriend cards, and we're gonna be doing that on whatnot. I was like, what? No kidding. And so, you know, I went to their shows, and then he also tagged me with this other guy who also does whatnot shows, and he does VeeFriend cards. So I was like, okay, let me just kind of see what this is about. And then yeah, you're like popped up all over the place, like doing all these videos. And it took me back to like, not, I think maybe last year or the year before, you were just like making videos with the little
the
mini
minis.
collectible things.
Yeah, the minis.
You had like this huge backpack going everywhere. What is this?
Yeah, so yeah, we can get all into all that fun stuff. I love the minis. It was one of the projects within it. With inside VeeFriends, there are so many things happening, and I think that's what I like about it so much. But yeah, we could talk about the minis in a minute if you want to kind of go through the beginning stages and then get into all that stuff. But I love the minis. They're basically little pencil toppers and vending machines. And I'm a vendor, so I have a vending machine with all these minis in there. They cost 50 cents to kind of crank, and then you can open it up. Right now, we're on season 3 and 4, and there's a special chase. I got a couple of them here I can kind of show you. Basically, they've got different rarities that people are chasing. They've got these common ones that are they're little VeeFriends characters you got here, and they're pencil toppers.
So cute.
And some of them are detailed, so they're the actual character. I know you can't really see it too well there, but they're super cute, and different variants and rarities and stuff like that. And this is the chase, the one that everybody's chasing right now. I've got one of them, which is really cool, and it's a golden Gary B right here.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so
Gary B.
Yeah, the Gary B.
Nice,
super cool.
That is cool. Yeah, because when I saw that and you had all those, like a whole backpack you were traveling with, and when you would stop and talk to people, like these kids were, you know, just reaching in, grabbing it, and they're like, oh my gosh, I got one. And it was like, so our store here used to have those little, what do you call it, those machines with the 25 cents you put in, and you get like stickers or tattoos.
Yeah.
They were there. Yeah, and then they like took them away. I'm like, what? Those things are so
stickers
fun.
are in there as well.
Yeah.
Those little holographic looking ones. Those were in those kind of things as well. Yeah.
So speaking of that, so if you could go back and just kind of tell us like how you found out about VeeFriends and how you were introduced into that world and why you're so like heavily into it. And I know you're like not for like money or anything, but like you actually enjoy going out there telling people about it. So just give us like an intro of like how you first got into the project.
I love it. So I had been following Gary for a long time. Thought he was, super awesome. 2014, 2015, I had lots of creative ideas as I saw him doing all the things he was doing. But it wasn't until I had a friend in 2020 who was, these were back in Clubhouse days. You guys remember Clubhouse days before X Spaces and all the good stuff there. She was like, oh my gosh, Chris, like Gary's just like, he's speaking all this crazy, awesome stuff. What's happening with like NFTs, and he's telling everybody how to get ETH, and OpenSea, and they're about to do their first series drop. And I'm like, this is awesome. So I'm listening to it a little bit, but I was building a business too. So I wasn't in the space where I could download all that information and really understand it well. And so I'm watching all this stuff go down. I don't end up getting the ETH or doing any of the things. And I watch everybody mint Series 1. And then I see it just kind of like take off and go wild. I'm just like, what is happening? Because at that time I was into crypto and blockchain stuff. I was into like crypto.com, Coinbase, and Uphold, and a few other ones. I was buying XRP and all that stuff way back then, and all that. So I was heavily involved in the crypto side, and I watched my bags go up, and I never educated myself on how to liquidate and get out of there. Unfortunately, I didn't even understand about cycles either. So as it's coming down, I'm thinking, I'm buying the dip. This is awesome. And at the time, I wasn't even into NFTs yet. So it wasn't until end of 2021, I start moving some of my ETH into my OpenSea, into my MetaMask, so that I could buy. I think it was Cheech and Chong's first project was one of the first ones that I dove into. And man, what a process that was. And then from there, I just started degenning into NFTs and understanding oh, this is cool. And I was really about the art and stuff like that. And so as it starts coming down, Gary and the VeeFriends at that time, they had Series 1, which were all handwritten, hand-drawn characters from Gary. So the thought process was, these characters are desk positive characters, like patient panda, patient pig, gratitude gorilla. So he also wanted to prove to everybody hey, these things, you don't have to have crazy artwork, right? He wanted to draw something, his own handwriting. He sat there. All of the Series 1 was filmed. So if you got the NFT, you have a video that goes along with him creating that one. Wow. So he wanted to show how cool that was, that you could do that. So Series 1 did great. It took off. There's a lot of great value within some of those, like gift goats. They get a lot of great stuff. There's spectaculars, that's like the holy grail. They're the one of ones with different variants there, which is really cool. And then from there, they did something special, and they had Series 2 drop. And they really took, and that's what you're looking at right there. They took the Series 1, which were hand-drawn Gary V drawings, and they made it more animated and more likable to the public. And they airdropped, I don't know, I can't remember if they were airdropped or they were minted, but they were given to the Series 1 holders with a box of cards. So that's when they started their TCG, right? Their trading card game cards. And they came in box. Be right back. So they came with cool things.
He's gonna come loaded with boxes.
This is what it came with, and inside are actually. This is a legit. Is this a legit one? Not. Is this open?
Is that a one-of-one? Don't open the one-of-one.
Yeah, this might be an actual box. Let's go. These things go for $400 or $500 on eBay right now. They have 12 packs inside. You can kind of see inside there. Mm-hmm. And there's different rarities and different things that are inside, but there's actually a trading card game that we do with it. So we've had a couple sanctioned tournaments and stuff like that. And it wasn't really until VCon 2 where Cardboard Summer came and everyone's ripping cards and having fun and doing all that stuff. And if you know Gary, serial entrepreneur, he's constantly building and doing stuff. He's got Vayner Media with 2,500 employees, close to $1 billion. He's crushing it with all that stuff. He has his sports stuff with his brother that he's working on and doing. Just winetext.com is the other big one. That's how he got his start and everything. But VeeFriends is his Walt Disney space. That's what he's going to work on for the next 50 years of his life until he dies. This is his thing. That's his thing that he's passionate about and he cares about, especially in the Web3 space, because there's so much you can do. And during the height and everything was great. Numbers were going crazy. Everything was wild, essentially they start to expand and do more. So these cards came out. There was some merch that came out. These shirts started coming out. Super stickers started coming out. They really believe in the live stream online shopping selling. And so live shopping is going to be huge. And Gary's kind of been leading the way for the last 2 years. He started on Fanatics Live, and they've been ripping these cards. And just recently they partnered with Topps Chrome, which is really nice. Obviously, they're a huge brand. And all of the massive Whatnot streamers were on there looking at all that stuff and breaking. I mean, they've been breaking for weeks now. It launched in May 7th. So it was cool to see all that stuff happen. There's so many different things to be involved with VeeFriends. And I'm talking a lot about the products and stuff, but the reason why I'm here and have stuck along the way is 1,000% the community. Like, I have friends for life in this space. You guys mentioned before that there was a VCon 1, 2, and 3 that took place. It was part of, when NFTs came out, there were different incentives with different NFTs that you had that give you different access. Like, there's a FaceTime Fly and a Hangout Hawk. Those things gave you access to Gary, but only for 3 years, right? Because they didn't know how long this was going to go, what Web3 was going to look like, and all that stuff. And so Gary kind of promised all those things and fulfilled all those things. VCon 1 was great. I didn't get to go to it, but all the people that showed up were fantastic. VCon 2, that's when I went to that one, and I was sold. I was sold with the community. It wasn't anything about the speakers. I mean, great speakers. Damien from Shark Tank. You had Jessica Alba there. You had Drew Barrymore. Like, just Neil Patrick Harris. Just wild, awesome people that you had access to. That I'm like, I can't believe they're like steps away. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And when I saw Gary there, which I think that was the first time I met him in person, he was so intentional. He was in one of those lines where, you had the meet and greets and stuff like that. This dude went over by 2 hours so that he could stay there and talk to the people, because he knew how important it was. He was giving more than he was taking. And I look up to him in that sense. Like, that was really cool to see. And that just, I was like, man, I don't care what anybody says. This dude he cares. And that was the night, VCon 2, that these TCG things really took off. And we had a great time exploring that. And then the Topps Chrome was obviously the next thing after that. And then more recently, they had the cartoon series that launched called VeeFriends Cartoons, and they're on YouTube as well. And I had a small part in that. I'll share that part of the story in a little bit, but I had a small part in helping get that in front of a lot of people at Disney. And there's a whole nother space there to talk about. And then now the comics are out, and the comics are fun.
Really?
Yes, yeah. He's got a Comics 1, which if you were a gift goat holder, you got this. They gave you the first comic ever, and they graded it and everything and handed it to you. And there's 555 of those available.
Does have comics.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh.
Series
Number
2
4
dropped, and now Series 3 just dropped, which is awesome. They sell out super quick. And what's the cool thing about it are their blind drops. So you'll get them, and they come in packages that you can rip to see the different cover variants that come inside of it. So the stories are fun. The characters are developing. They started as just hand-drawn sketches, turned into something better and better and better. And it's kind of everywhere now. And the community kind of does its thing. Everybody means something different to everybody. And I thought that was really neat to kind of see him kind of grow that space. So there's a lot that's going on in the VeeFriends universe, and they link up a lot with Web3 people, and they give a lot of stuff to their holders and try and give back to us as much as they can, because it's not completely just Web3. Like, it is truly an IP that he's building for the future. So he's not just building wide, he's building deep, and especially with like relationships and stuff like that.
So I love that. Everything I hear right here is just spells out community to me. And let me really get on the community part. So like for me specifically, in fact, the community part, when we discovered the NFT 3-4 years ago, we kind of looked at it as a value proposition, maybe even a flex, depending on what NFT it was, but mainly on the value side. it wasn't until like maybe 2 years later we've really got to unlock the NFT. And I really want to give a shout out to this guy right here, Kid Arcade, who is a Web3 artist in our space. Shout out to Kid Arcade. If it wasn't for people like him or My Collectibles that started their own Web3 NFT projects of their own, it would have never inspired D and I to start one of ourselves. We started one 2 years ago. People are still holding our NFTs. And what I loved about it is we never put it out there for the value proposition. We did it because, well, we needed to fund our operations, but at the same time, we offered utility. And we constantly offer that utility. I don't think we've ever stopped that utility, which is once a month. We make sure we reward our community. And, you know, shout out to our community. Some of them are in the chat. They always show up. They are subscribers to the media group. None of them have ever canceled their subscriptions. And these are all NFT holders right here. And so I really love the community aspect right here. It's kind of what I'm trying to get at. And the power of the NFT unlocking that community aspect is just, it's mind blowing to me. I mean, like, for us, we released a thing called a pass, right? We called it the podcast pass. We were podcasts. And it's just a silly looking thing, right? It's a PFP and it's animated. But what I loved about that is, you know, we got to connect with people. We went to Decon in Vegas. A lot of our NFT holders, they came. We met them for the first time. We got to give them hugs. We got to go, you know, on collectible shops with them. We cruised Vegas with them. We got to connect. We got to network. We got to be a community. And I really love what you're telling me about VeeFriends and that aspect about community building. What do you think, Dee?
Oh no, 100,000%. Yeah, it's I like people, and just to like interact with people and meet new people from, you know, whatever walks of life. Yeah, like Hinano said, 2022 is when we went in real life to our first decon in Anaheim, and we got to meet people. And then we went back last year in Vegas and got to meet them again, and also new people. And so that's what I really enjoy. I know when you ask people like, why do you stick around? People are like, oh, I have a lame reason, which is the community. It's like, it's not even lame. It's like people, you find people who are really cool, very down to earth, have like the same interests as you. And, you know, the people that I have interacted with, like Metabeast, I would have never met him if I was in a space talking about, you know, crypto and AI. I would have never met Metabeast. And now he's here. We see him once a week. And, you know, just making those connections. And you find out that people that you know other people, and those people know some people that you know, and it's like, wow, this space is really not as big as we think it is. But yeah, just the whole community aspect for me is what I really love about the Web3/digital space, and just to be able to connect with people. And, you know, once I do that, they may be into other projects that I'm not into, and then I learn about those projects, and then I find another amazing community that I'm also part of. And yeah, just the whole network for me is what I really enjoy, and just talking with people. What about you, Metabeast?
Yeah, community is I don't know, something I've talked about a lot. I feel in this space, community has I also feel there's a responsibility as to be part of the community, and that's to if it's something you're really like and can really get behind, it's kind of up to you to put it out there, you know, and talk about it, help boost it. But I've met a lot of cool people. The IRL things I think are the best experiences. And it's funny that something like this brings people together the way it does. So,
1,000%.
I love hearing about I've heard about the VeeFriends. I've heard of them. I know they were doing like 24/7 spaces not too long ago as well. But this
was wild.
this
Chrome
is the most
bridge,
I've
yeah.
gotten to hear about it. So I appreciate you getting to talk with you and you telling us more about them. So thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I love what you guys are building here. I'm loving the community. You know, Kid Arcade, I know him from the VV world because I was heavy into VV before I got into the OpenSea stuff and started like, you know, using my MetaMask and all this. I was like, oh, this VV stuff's a lot easier. I can understand this. And you know, I've got all the golden moments. I got it all just sitting there, like, you know, hoping one day we all go back up and all that fun stuff. And I think I was even in his Discord at some point. I really enjoyed his artwork and the stuff that he was building and creating. And I just love that about the community and people out there. Like they didn't just stop with like what people are doing. They were taking things and making it their own and sharing their art and skill work with people. So it was awesome. So shout out. Yeah. Shout out Kid Arcade.
Shout out to Kid Arcade. Over here, Kid Arcade's family to us. You know, we met Kid Arcade back in 2022 at Decon. It's funny when we met Kid Arcade because we met him as an artist. We walked into Dave & Buster's in Irvine, and here you got Kid Arcade, and he's got like this entire garment of artistry. It's all white. He's wearing a painter's hat, and he's literally got like this easel right here, and he's painting right at the front entrance. And I'm like, wow, yo, is that Kid Arcade? And it's like, yeah, he's painting, I believe it was a Doom or something right there, like a Marvel Mighty or something. And that was our first meeting of Arcade. We met Cricket at the convention, and then this past November, we really got to connect with Arcade. We helped him at his party. We got to go to his stomping grounds. He showed us, you know, good places to eat. Great comic book stores, and we're looking forward to it again, Arcade. So yeah, shout out to Arcade. I don't think D and I would be up here right now talking to you fine folks if it wasn't for him and his inspiration to us. So
facts. Yeah, and when you're in Vegas, check out Vicky's. That's an awesome diner, by the way.
Check out
Vicky's. That's where we went. Yeah.
And Nerds.
Yo, we don't talk about nerds. We don't talk about nerds. We don't talk about nerds. I don't know if you know what nerds is, Cowabunga, but we don't. Okay.
They got slabs and comic books and collectibles and other interesting things.
And some midgets. But like, if you're ever walking Main Street and you see a bar called Nerds, maybe give it a try. Maybe keep walking.
Okay, all right.
But let's get back to VeeFriends right here. So I see a bunch of people in the chats. I have an understanding of how you kind of you know, became a part of the community. But what do you do now? So let's have a good, like, here's a good example. Like for us, for the community, we are a media group. We like to present content. We like to present entertainment to the community, whether it's live shows like this. We actually have 4 live stream shows, actually 5, but one's on hiatus. And then we do a lot of pre-recorded content. So that's what we like to do for the community, is we like to give back by presenting entertainment. And also we do some fun giveaways. But what do you kind of like to do for the VeeFriends community?
So, you know, I say the beautiful thing about our community is everybody has found their like own place within it. They all have, you know, one's a hand, one's a foot, one's a head. We're all like this complete body. You know, it's almost very biblical, which is kind of cool. But like everybody does their own thing, which is great. You know, there's whatnot streamers that are just, I mean, that's the other cool thing about VeeFriends is it's so deep that we could take this Web3 space and then create and have these products that everybody is selling on whatnot. I mean, Gary creates opportunities for people to arbitrage a lot. You know, all these different things that come out, you know, get so like this hat right here is epic. This is the optimistic otter hat. You know, there's only limited editions of certain of these things that come out, and they end up on eBay, and you know, they sell for great money. And so it's always opportunities to get back into the community. From VCon 2, I saw that they had coming out the vending machines, and the vending machines were an opportunity for us, the community, to say, hey, at $750 price point, you're going to get this vending machine with 1,200 of these little mini capsules. Essentially, it's about 13 cents a toy is what you're paying, but you're selling them for 50 cents. So you're making great money from it. In fact, I just emptied my machine the other day, pulled out $250 worth of quarters. And, you know, I use that to put it back in, and I buy back from VeeFriends, and I'm just using that for my community. The book bag that you saw was my entrepreneurial brain saying, my vending machine is great downstairs in a BurgerFi, hanging out where kids are, you know, getting toys and stuff. But if I want to take this to the community, I found myself a cat bag because the yellow matched the yellow of the vending machines, and I just filled it full of VeeFriends, all the little VeeFriends minis. And then I came up, there was a Macy's collaboration where they had these figurines. This is a Willful Wizard that were being sold at Macy's. So I bought a few of them and I put them inside the bag, and I told some of the kids and the people in the community, hey, reach in here, and if you pull out one of these characters, and some of them have like the number 5 on it. If you know Gary, it's his favorite number, and there's a real deep story behind it, which is really cool. And if you pull that out, you get 5 of these little minis. And so it's just a fun thing. So he's constantly creating opportunities like that. So when that came around, I'm a creator, and I wanted to kind of film the process of what it looks like to receive something like that and open it up and then show the behind the scenes of what it looks like to be a VeeFriends vendor on that side. And so that's how I kind of got started in the community. I'd already bought a bunch of the VeeFriends Series 2. This is my absolute favorite character. It was the first one that I purchased. There's over 250 different ones of them. And Ernest Ermine is my favorite, just because I love earnestness. And I mean, Ermines, they're so cute. But they can be vicious, and they're agile, and they're tiny, but they're cute and adorable. And so I love it. And I ended up eventually during the bear market. Oh, there he is. He's awesome.
And you have one in white too, right? I saw that short video.
Yeah, and the ones that you're seeing around there, those different color variants, those are spectaculars. So they're one-of-ones for that character. And then there's a bunch of cores with a bunch of different backgrounds and stuff. Excuse me. And Series 1 has a spectacular. It's like the Holy Grail kind of thing. And during the bear market, I made a lot of moves, sold some bags and stuff that I kind of wish I had been sold because they skyrocketed later on.
Story of my life.
Yeah, always. But I picked up a Series 1 Ermine. So that's what you see on my profile picture. I wanted to show myself off, so I put my Ermine on me, and the background there is the gold spec. So I have a 1-of-1. There you go. I have that 1-of-1. You guys are great with the media and putting
trying, man.
No.
And I'm rocking my famous Ray-Bans. I love the Ray-Bans. I got the first series. I enjoy filming content.
You look spiffy.
It's part of my brand now, for sure. So I don't go too far. They're always near me. Always got them. But yeah, so I got that Series 1, got really deep into the space with all that. And so I found my voice inside the community by doing these videos and kind of giving back and sharing value there. But we all pretty much live on X. That's the fastest mode of information. That's where everything's happening. So that's where we all kind of congregate. I could throw out so many names right now. The Ann Bag is probably one of the most purest people in our community. She hosts live streams on Tuesday nights for for family night. And so essentially everybody shows up and they're all talking about the different traits and kindness. And I think that's the coolest part is every trait, it's almost kind of like, be kind, all these, but it's so powerful. These visual reminders of all this stuff. We got another guy named Rob Messer, who is Mr. Messer, and Chelsea, and that's his wife. And they have a network called the VFam Network. And so he's been doing these podcasts with a lot of prominent people inside the VeeFriends family. And in fact, I gave out the link for tonight into the VFam chat. So there's a whole 150 something people in there. Gary's in there, a bunch of people. They watch it. They pay attention to that stuff. Gary's very intentional with this too. He pays attention and chimes in and stuff. So, yeah, so I give back by doing all that stuff. There was an opportunity that happened recently. If you don't mind, I'll tell this quick story.
Yeah, no, please. Yes. We love tangents. Go for it.
Yes.
I love it. So recently I've kind of gone from just being someone in the community who just loves to give back and be kind and share my video fun skills and stuff like that. I have a client named Mears, and they're Mears Transportation. Basically, they had a deal with Disney for years called the Disney Magical Express, and they would take you from the MCO airport here in Orlando to the Disney resorts. They have since then started their own thing called Mears Connect, since Disney kind of ended that in 2020, like most things. Contracts ended all over the place. And basically Mirrors Connect needed an in-ride video. So they hired me. I've worked with them lots of times in the past, and I was the director, producer, the guy hiring the talent, piecing it all together for this video that you're going to watch from the airport to the resorts. And so I found an actor and did all this stuff, and going through it, I was like, everyone was like, hey, we need entertainment. Like, this is great, but everyone's going to be so bored of this stuff halfway through. How do we keep people's attention? And immediately what came to my mind was VeeFriends has like cartoons and animations and an actual cartoon series coming out that they partnered with Moonbug. So if anybody knows Moonbug, they're like the huge brand behind Cocomelon and the big YouTube cartoons that just blew up. They're out of England. So I reached out to Gary and the president, Andy Kranak, which I give so much props to him. He's such an incredible leader. And I gave that I was like, hey guys, these guys need some cartoons. I think this is a great opportunity. Let's connect. That day, Andy got back to me. Gary's like, and Gary too is like, this sounds great. Andy, look into it. Me and Andy start talking. And that was last May when I started the process, June when I talked to Andy and them. And it wasn't until May this year that it finally launched. So essentially, I got permission for them to take their VeeFriends cartoons and attach it to the video. And I got to send Gary a script and some things, which he's so good off the cuff, just doing his own thing. So he kind of did his own thing with it. It was way better than anything I could have said. And I got to take his footage and then introduce him and have him introduce his cartoons. So people are riding on this bus from Orlando, going to the most magical place on earth, and they're watching Gary's cartoons right now. And my mind is blown because close to 1 million people are probably going to see this before the end of the year. Thousands of people are writing this almost every day kind of thing. And it was really cool to kind of see how I was able to take just something regular, just like you, my man, like your brain just doesn't stop. But like, oh, we could do this, do this. And it turned out awesome. And it just so happened to launch the same weekend, which was about a month ago, as Collecticon. So Collecticon was here in Orlando. Gary was coming down. The VeeFriends are coming down. They're doing lots of exposure. And I convinced the Mirrors team to give Gary a private bus to take him from the airport to the convention so he could experience his cartoons on there. Cool. And I think that was probably one of my favorite things, was getting to meet him at the airport, take him down into the bus and be like, hey man, this is all you. You're creating this. You're the reason why all this happened. I wouldn't even have done any of these things if it wasn't for you and your inspiration behind that. And then I had a couple of little fun things. I had some OGs that he knows very well that were staying with me during that weekend for the con, and I surprised him on the bus with them so that they were so cool. They could watch the video with him, which was really cool. So yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I love that, man, because like for one, that must be a proud moment for you because you're able to do something with someone's IP, present it to them, allow them to watch it, also give them an opportunity like to experience it in a way as others will experience it, right? So that's a pleasure in itself right there. And then I love the fact that there's community building going on with the VeeFriends. And so I'm really looking at this like another big project like Cool Cats or A Kid Called Beast or something like that, but on a grander scale right there. I'm a Beast fan myself. Hey. And this is the thing that I love about it. Like, I got into the space because of VeeFriends. So like, just like you, I was into VeeFriends a lot. I still am. I still hang out with the community, and I do all that with all these communities, but I really love these independent projects. I love the Kid Called Beast. I love the Broadsiders. You know what I mean? The Cool Cats. You've got the Fluff from Futureverse. Now you got VeeFriends, and this is what I really wanted to know what this was all about. I can see you got a comic book. I can see you got a community. I can see there's a collecting aspect, and I'm a huge collector here. I'm a comic collector. That's why I was able to get along with Aaron so well. So from the collecting aspect, that's my whole thing here is like, what are the best characters to get? How do you collect on this? And like, as a collector, what's the chase?
Man, it's such great questions there, man. There are so many great characters. They're definitely like top 10 staple characters that people automatically are going to. And you're going to find that those are the ones that are being introduced into the latest merch things that are happening. Right now, we've got a collab with Steph Curry that's going on. And us as holders were able to purchase those ahead of time at discounts yesterday and the day before. And it will be soon open to the public. I guarantee it will sell out almost immediately, and then they'll start selling on eBay. The Topps Chrome stuff was wild. Those were $24.99 at like GameStops and like other places online and stuff. They sell for $150 a box now. Wow. So it's just insane that the blaster boxes that they have.
We're late, D.
$100 is what we bought them for. They sell for $650 or something like that now. So just a lot to collect. There's so much in the ecosystem. It's kind of overwhelming, but once you kind of dive in, you're like, you kind of find your niche. We have pins. The pins are really cool.
Yeah.
Super stickers are really cool. The TCG stuff is really great. A lot of people are collecting those, but I didn't even mention there was another thing that came out, and it was the Series 1 box. Everything's always about Series 1. So if there's anything you leave with today, everything is great. It's all fun. But Series 1 is the alpha. Series 1 is the alpha.
OG.
If you can afford or you can get a spectacular, that is the long-term hold. I'm not a flipper. I'm a collector myself. So I went in for the spec knowing like, hey, this is going to be epic in the future, and I'm happy to kind of be here for it now. If you go to the homepage real fast, I love that you're on here looking at all these ones. They actually, so I wonder, like VeeFriends.com, just .com without anything else behind it. You'll see, you will love what you'll see on here. Their website, chef's kiss.
Yes.
It's so good. Bam. Okay.
Very eye-catching too, but it's like not too loud, like
Right?
screaming in
Yeah.
your face.
So well done. You can see the cartoons in the top right, which is awesome.
Did you have a hand to play in this?
I don't have a hand in it. I know all
Okay.
the folks that are doing it, and they're incredible people, and just so well done. Just so well done with
Easy
everything all around.
easy to find things. I don't like the sites where it's like way too overproduced and way too much special effects where you have to
Yes.
scroll to get to a button.
Facts,
Yeah.
dude. And if you scroll down a little bit here, you'll kind of see, like, I love the animation there on that.
Yeah.
Seeing, oh, there's my Ermine right there. Let's go, guy. He's not been featured. The Ermine has, and a lot of the characters haven't been featured in any of these things yet. So in the next 3 or 4 years, as it's growing out, there's going to be a lot more there. I love how if you go down a little bit more, you'll see these are just some. They change every 5 minutes or so. Flex and Fox, one of the ones that I really enjoy. Super awesome. In fact, there's a really cool chase. This is what
Oh, here we go, guys. I love that. You can move this around and
Like
Gary
it
actually
moves.
signed that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, isn't that cool? Gary actually signed this, but this is a
Whoa,
limited thing that they did.
What's in the box?
cool
What's in
kicks.
the box?
Live unboxing.
So dope.
Raven thinks it's an alpaca.
This is the first time I've
Lemur.
Oh, really? It's a lemur.
Oh, here we go. Live unboxing, guys.
Yeah, live unboxing right here. Let's go.
Drum roll.
I feel like I should have gloves on for this.
Oh, yes. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Anything gold is
Flex and
cool.
Fox. I don't know if I want to touch them.
Yeah.
Man, that is dope.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's cool, man.
My
Quick,
camera
put it back in the
doesn't
box.
Don't breathe on it. Don't breathe on it. Flex and Fox, man. I mean, just exactly what it sounds like. You know, if you're somebody who loves to collect and show off to your friends and stuff, and there's some really good moral stories behind all that, which is fun with VeeFriends. There's always kind of a story behind each of those characters and stuff. So, but I love their website. They got a lot of great fun stuff on there. Easy to find things. The comics you were talking about, you can read right there. So,
Wow. Can you download it? Are they downloadable PDFs?
I don't know if I've ever downloaded it before. It's just, I think it's just on the site that you can read.
You can read. Okay. Is there a physical aspect to the comic books as well?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. The
Ooh.
2, 3, number 2 and 3 are the ones that you could get right now. I bought 5 of them recently, number 3, and they're the ones that you rip so that you can see the cover variant to see if you got a hollow or a 1 of 1 or a 1 of 50. I recently
Comes in like a poly bag or something.
Yes, yeah, like one of those, like just like you would rip like Pokemon cards.
Oh,
Yeah.
got you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you get issue 1? How can you find issue 1? Like I said,
they're
collector
very
here.
expensive. Yeah,
I'm a little bit
so
late.
So
Go eBay.
one of the things he wanted to do for the NFT holders, because as Web3 holders, a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say, like, hey, this isn't a Web3 project. He's like, no, this is a project for the future. He's building bigger and deeper. It's Pokemon meets Sesame Street meets Disney. That's the kind of vibe that he's going with. Cool. And so when number 1 came out, he only gave it to the gift goats. So if you owned a gift goat NFT Series 1, there's only 555 of those that exist of gift goats, and they were issued all of the Series 1s graded. So they got it already in the spot, and there were only 3 that were 10s. I know one guy that's got one of the 10s, and I'm just like, wow. If you look it up on eBay, they're somewhere between $1,800 and $3,000 that they go for number 1. Believe me, I'm looking too, man. I'm like, I gotta pick up one of these.
I was like, I'm late.
But yeah, the comics are awesome. You could totally snag the number 2 and number 3 on eBay for probably like $40-$50 at the cheapest. It's not too bad.
Dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
D?
No, I love how because a lot of people in Web3 are always like, what do I get because I've been like such a holder for so long. Mm-hmm. And this just proves like, Gary and his team are, giving back to the people who are holding on to the very beginning, the stuff from the very beginning. So yeah, it does pay, or you get rewarded for being a hodler. But one thing that you could do if you're like curious, I found for myself when I was like just signing up recently, is they have like a one where you can see like what VeeFriend are you, and you take like a quick survey. Yeah. So that's one way you can like get in and see what you can start collecting first. So I took the survey, and cool. I got Patient Pig.
Hey, that's a great character. Let's go. Let's see.
I got that. So that's one way. It's right on the website, Hinana, that you're on.
I'm scared to do that. I'll get something that I never thought, right?
Yeah.
You so totally when you need to do it.
Yeah. So when you take the survey, like, just be honest about it, and don't be like making yourself like hype yourself up so good and perfect. It's like being honest with yourself kind of thing. So that's what I did. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to get this character. And I was like, Patient Pig, okay.
I love it.
But then when it gives a reason why, I'm like, okay, yeah, it actually does match with how I see myself.
That's awesome. I love it. It's evolved too. I just recently did it, and I got Turnt Tick. So I'm a Turnt Tick.
Turnt Tick.
Yeah.
Knowing me, I'll get competitive clown, and I'm not a fan of clowns, and so that's what I'm saying, right? I got 2 more questions for you, Cowabunga. But before I do that, Metabeast, anything you want to ask? You're muted, Metabeast.
I did, and I can't, for the life of me, can't remember it other than any lemurs.
Legendary lemur.
Okay, that sounds.
Oh, that's an actual character?
That sounds
it
about
is.
right.
It's an actual character, and it's a chase, and it's in the TCG cards. So it's I think it was a short print for those, so it's tough to get one of them in the cards. But
yeah, they are legendary. I will say that. So let me here's kind of see if I can figure out how I want to phrase this. Do you feel that what Gary has done thus far has been more than enough for coming in? Because I wonder myself. Just I have a kid called Beast, and I find that I think they've done a lot. There's still a lot to come. I feel I've gotten my values worth a long time ago. They could stop doing whatever tomorrow, and I would be fine with it. I still have my Beast. I can still do stuff with it. How long do you think something like that should last?
I think that's the beauty of the VeeFriends space, is that he's building for the long term. I guarantee there's going to be a V-Land one day. I guarantee it. At the VCons, he's got the big characters going around, and they're, just like you'd see at Disney World. It's so wild. I think he's definitely delivered. He's definitely delivered and then some. That's why they put those 3-year kind of mark on everything. I think a lot of people look to the gift goats because that was the biggest utility that was around at the time, and there were, I think, 18 gifts or 17 gifts that they were going to be given, and Gary's exceeded that. Like they received all their gifts. It should be over, but wow, this is wild too. They just recently, the Topps Chrome stuff that came out, we as holders got to get early access. We got them, but Gift Goats got a special box called a Sapphire box. These boxes go for $5,000 on eBay. So he constantly is giving and giving, and the value just keeps going. I saw one for $8,000. I don't think I was going to buy it for $8,000, but the chases inside it, the rarities that are there, it's worth it. That they're pulling from, it's pretty cool. So I think it's going to keep going and going. I don't expect anything. Honestly, I could say I've received everything I could possibly want from it as well. I think it's purely community now, and he's building a company, and we just get to be along for the ride and are benefiting as holders from the beginning. So everything he says, and he says a lot, it always comes down to the alpha is Series 1. Get yourself a Series 1 because that's the alpha. Now there's 10,000 of those Series 1. The spectaculars are truly what he's talking about. So the one of ones.
What's the floor price on one?
That's a great question. I will look it up right now too on OpenSea. That's a great question. Somewhere probably around like 3 point something ETH maybe.
Real quick, before we get into the market talk, let me play this real quick.
1 point.
Yes, we're on board there.
Yeah, 1.75
for a spectacular. Oh, that's the floor. Yeah.
The floor for like regular.
And if you kind of scroll down, there's some cores. Hardworking Wombat is one of his favorites.
Wombat.
And then you see like there's other cool ones like FaceTime Frog. Well, you get to FaceTime with Gary once a year and for a certain amount of time, which is really cool.
An access token. Okay.
An access token.
Yeah,
correct.
that's so cool. It comes with like so much stuff that, like you said, like people who've been holders got everything they were supposed to get, and it's still ongoing utility. The famous U word, utility.
Looks like 4.1 ETH is the cheapest spectacular.
Wow.
Which what is that in today's value? 11K. So
who pumped the floor? Come on, guys.
Okay.
40 minutes. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So
that's great though.
Some great characters too, man. And you could see the core series. Those are all his sketches. Like he drew those just to prove a point. Like you could take this to the moon. Shout out to the moon. Also, there are some guys in the community that started their own fun breaking thing, and it's called To the Moon, and it's just community night and getting together. And Josh Courage was one of the first streamers. Huge shout out to Josh Courage. He was one of the first people to start streaming and doing all the stuff in the community, and everyone's just kind of come along and done that. So, Caitlin, let's go.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you for being here.
Amazing people.
And appreciate everyone for coming in here. I see a mixed chat of VeeFriends as well as our own subscribers as well. This has been an awesome conversation. And what I love about this all comes back to community, in my opinion. A lot of this is community building, whether it's from the actual organization or it's actual community members doing stuff as well. And the one thing I love about NFTs is like you can repurpose them. You can literally just have its own utility. A good example is us. We are doing utility right now with the Bat Cowls, and we're going to give away McFarlane Toys digital collectibles to Bat Cowls. And so just to have that networking aspect and to kind of being able to like at least combine different communities together, just kind of like a unification thing. That's what we love to do here. We love to push this space. And I love the fact that that's what I'm hearing is going on with VeeFriends. I think I've asked you enough questions already. I'm interested to see what's going on here. Actually, one more question. Okay. Video game. Are they thinking about doing a game?
So that everybody talks about that. I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's coming. But they are so focused on the comics right now and the lore with that over the next 5 years. But I could totally see a VeeFriends game coming out. I think that would be cool. They've got a couple little ones, like a Flappy Bird kind of thing with Gary B that kind of like goes through some really cool things there. So I would love to see a video game. You mentioned bat cows. I have 2 of those. I minted those when they came out. I was a big HRO person. Unfortunately, I was a collector, so I never ripped
as well
boxes either.
Yeah.
So I never got to rip them and scan them or be a part of it because I was like, I'm going to collect these and hold them, and then they're like, peace out.
Yeah.
Artifact.
I got sealed boxes as well.
I got my artifact stuff. I got all the shoes with all the light up stuff and everything, and the app doesn't work with any of the stuff anymore and all that jazz, which is unfortunate.
You are a true collector in different projects.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I think that the one that sucked the most, honestly, well, there's so many of like those, but like the Matrix. You remember when the Matrix came out and the new movie, and they had like all these like 100,000 stuff. Like I dropped so much money on that, thinking like, this is the future. I'm gonna hold on to all these. Wow, they got rid of all of it. I was like, I didn't even red pill any of them or blue pill or whatever. I didn't pill any of them.
Recur pass here.
Yeah, so. Oh yeah, recur, man. I'm sorry about that. I bought during the bear market, so I didn't pay high prices for it, but it still sucks to lose out on that one for sure.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's the nature of the space, and that's the one thing I don't like to hear is when a project goes down, but it happens. But that's okay because there's still projects like this, and as long as projects like this survive, the community, the Web3 community as a whole, continues on, and that's the big thing here. And I'm pretty sure we're all in the same boat here. We want to see the Web3 community succeed, whether it's the community building aspect, which is the tech aspect, which is your bag aspect, whatever you're here for. You know what I mean? We want to see this succeed. Cowabunga, this has been an awesome interview. Thank you so much for coming on. I do have one more question, actually, and that's a fanable question. But before I get to that, I'm going to let my co kind of close out VeeFriends. Go ahead. We'll start with you, Metabeast. Close it out.
Are you going to Comic-Con? Aaron, I think, is going to be there. Will you be there?
That is a great question. I don't know if I can say if I'll be there or not yet. So I would love to be there if possible. I would love to be there.
We were trying to get him in the McFarlane party.
That
I don't
would
know
be
if he got
super
made
cool.
that happen, but
That'll be so. I got my son is a Pokemon player. He plays TCG. He's ranked 72 in the world. 24.
Wow.
So we'll be going to the World Championship. Yeah. We'll be going to the World Championship this year in Anaheim. We'll get to do that, which will be kind of fun. But man, Comic-Con would be a blast. Believe me, I would love to be able to do that. We've just got so much stuff going on this year. But that's a great question. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's been great chatting with you, D.
Well, I did have a question, but I don't know if it's like done already. Because I noticed, I don't know if it was like a VCon or it was like a VeeFriends event, because you were in Oahu, and I was like kind of more like watching it because I'm like, hey, that's like the island that's not next to us, but it's pretty close by. So I thought that was really cool that you were in Hawaii, doing something. Was that a VCon or it was just like a random VeeFriends event?
It all happened so fast. I was in Nashville for work, and then from Nashville, I went to VCon, which was in LA. That was VCon 3. And I got to hang out with everybody and chill. And then right after that, I got on a plane, headed home, was there for half of a day, and we jumped on a plane to go to Hawaii for my son, because my son was playing in the World Championship last year as well.
Oh, okay.
So he got to do that, which was a lot of fun. So yeah, and actually, I have to connect you with my boy, who has the biggest heart, one of the biggest VeeFriends community guys, and he needs to be on your stream for sure. He is massive in the VeeFriends community on Whatnot. His name is Steven, and his show is called Steven's View.
Yes.
He is incredible. He's right out of there. In fact, the dude came and picked us up from the convention center so we wouldn't have to walk half the time back to the hotel. He picked me and my family up and drove us to the airport. So I love him to death. Shout out to Steven, Steven's View. Yeah, and he's out of Hawaii right there. So
let's go.
Yeah,
it's in the works. It's in the works.
I love it.
That's awesome. Yeah. See, it's like it's not that much of a big world, right? It's so small when you think about it. All these connections.
I got one thing to show you guys before I leave. I'll flex and fox on you real quick, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
He got
He's got his whole platform, of like his showcase. Oh,
what?
What's up, dude?
Yes, that is
wow.
that. We need one.
How gnarly is
goodness.
that, right?
Dude. Oh, that is cool.
I want one. I want the whole set, actually.
He's not telling us something. He was Michelangelo in one of the movies.
Look at the big M. Look at the big M back there.
I see
Right?
it. See? I knew it. Look at that. Yo!
Whoa.
There you go, guys.
Jeez.
He's the next contestant on Metal
so
Wars
cute.
over here.
Huge Halo fan too.
Oh,
wow.
let's go, man.
Oh, that was
so
fun. You guys are
much.
awesome.
Thank you. Before you leave, real quick, Fanable, anything you can kind of tell us on what's going on there? I know you guys got a big drop. I am a huge Superman fan. We're big DC fans. You guys wrote me on this one. I am definitely going for it. But anything you can kind of tell us about Fanable before we let you go?
Yeah, I will say there's so much happening behind the scenes that you guys don't know about. They are building really deep with this. I'm super stoked that Aaron's on board with everything. He listens. He knows what's happening, what's going on. And you guys know Sergio. Like he's amazing. I've been following him for forever, and I've been in his Facebook group and all the stuff with VV for the longest time. But yeah, there's a lot of great stuff happening behind the scenes. Aaron is super smart. He knows about all this stuff. And, I'm a nerd. I don't know all the things about like all the comics and stuff. So I just love listening to them and taking it all in and hearing all about it. So this drop that's coming up is super special. You saw the last one. It was the only one that didn't sell out. The price point, the box, the merch, the vibe of it. I wasn't really feeling myself, honestly, if I was telling you the truth. But this one, wow, man, Impossible Brief crushed it with the artwork. The scene behind it is probably one of the coolest scenes. And the chase is going to be really great. It's signed by a lot of great people that are on there. I don't know if you saw Sergio's post earlier today. He was kind of breaking down Dean Kane, who had signed it, and a few other folks that are on there. And I can't remember that the chase cost like $1,800 or something like that, possibly, or something. No, don't quote me.
No, you're right. It's around $1,800 for the chase.
Around $1,800, yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one. But I'm digging the drop stuff. I'm having fun with it. I've got about 4 cases myself that I also am thinking about just going ahead and opening. I'm definitely not opening my Ninja Turtle one that I have. I'm going to keep that one and possibly the Star Wars one. I'm probably going to open my Gotham one and my Spider-Man one next. But I'm totally going to try and go for this one. I'm not an employee of Fanable, so I get to they kind of set that up for us on purpose. So Fanable be Fanable, and I get to have my own show, the Drop Lounge. So that's my show that I get to curate and put together under Fanable, which is nice. But that allows me to purchase and participate into the drop. So I was really grateful for them for that. Yeah. So a lot of times I'll kind of look at everything and be like, okay, I'll give it a second. I'll let everybody get in on it. And then right before that 10-minute mark goes on, before they allow more people to do it, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to buy one. Yes. To kind of grab one there. But this case, I think the 3 cases that I'll never open will be this case, the Ninja Turtle one that we did, the Mutant one, and the Star Wars Galaxy, because I love that hologram feel and vibe to that Star Wars one. That was cool.
Oh, I'm opening this. And I think Aaron knows, because this is my favorite book. It's my all-time favorite DC book. I'm a huge fan of the book right here, as well as Michael Turner right here. And so not a lot of people really care about this book. I care about this book. If it wasn't this book, it would be like Civil War #1. But I remember mentioning that I'm a big Michael Turner fan, and so it just so happens this book pops into this case right here.
What?
So you guys rope me in on this book just for that one book. I could probably go buy the book, but yeah, I'm going for it, guys.
So. Are you guys in the Discord? In the Fanable Discord? If there's some alpha for you. If you're not in the Discord, get in the Fanable Discord.
Get on
That's where giveaways and certain things happen in there. He really listens to you in there for sure. You just have this direct connection. So definitely be in that Discord.
Shout out to you guys right there. Hey, Cowabunga, before you leave, anything you want to ask us? That's usually what we like to do here, is to give the guests a chance to ask us anything if they want to.
Well, yeah. So let me ask Metabeast. There's of all the projects and all the stuff that's been going on in Web3 and all the stuff that's happening. What would be your favorite like 3D storytelling project, NFT? You know, something that's got more than just like a PFP. You know.
Well, you had storytelling behind it. That kind of throws me off, but I am a big fan of a kid called Beast. I am AKC Metabeast. Again, like I said, they give you something. They teach you how to create with what they give you, and so much more. And as far as the storytelling, it's just up to the person who owns one. If they want to tell the story behind their beast to go out there and do it. So I guess in that sense, that would be the storytelling. So
yeah, and the video games that they're coming out, I think there's going to be some great storytelling behind that. You know, just the environment and stuff too. So yeah, I love that. That's awesome.
Yep, and they're supposed to have cartoon coming out as well as toy is coming soon, and the whole anime collection. So
Raspy's been working real hard behind the scenes and all that. It's been cool to see the anime looking vibe stuff. I'm all about. So I own one. So a kid called Beast. I used to have one. I sold it. I needed to liquidate some stuff, and then I was like, I'm getting one back, and I did. I'm a fan of the rabbit. So the hair.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my jam.
Nice.
Oh, what's your Beast hood?
What's that?
What's your Beast hood?
My Beast hood?
Yeah, the Beast hood.
I don't know what that is.
So your specific beast is actually tied to a Beast hood.
You're educating me right now. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there was a whole which beast are you type thing that
I need to go check that out. Yeah. There's so much that always goes on. You always end up missing stuff. One of my favorite things I got though was that cool little hoodie thing.
Oh yeah. I need one of those. The mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a hat on a giveaway. Did I open the box?
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, I got a hat. I gotta open it.
Man, okay, so D, what would be your favorite thing to do with the show, with the live streaming stuff? Because I see you on O'Milly T and the spaces and the stuff that's going on and all the fun stuff. Like what's your favorite thing to do with these kind of spaces?
For me, just interacting with people, just like talking story with people, having great conversations. Like spaces specifically kind of depends on where I am or what the conversations are about. I usually like to listen and throw up the emojis whenever it fits, and every once in a while, yes, I do go up to O'Milly's space where we DGen and stuff, or Jay.
I'm the prude in the relationship, by the
way. Or when Jay has his spaces very early in the morning for us, and I'm like awake. I think it's like 1:30 in the morning.
2 in the morning, Cowabunga. I get up to go do the man thing, right? Where you go to the bathroom, the man thing. I'm like, I hear my wife talking. I'm like, who the hell is she talking to in the dark? And she's on the phone, like in Jay's space or something.
Yeah, but funny. I mean, it's like, it depends on the conversation. Like a lot of times in the spaces, I'll be listening. But if they keep talking and going on about food, I'm just like, oh man, I got to go up there and just like talk about food. Or just like have like I like to learn about people, like what they like where they're from. Not tell me like their whole life story, but just kind of like what their backgrounds are, their heritage. I don't know. I'm just kind of like into that thing because you find so many like interesting people out there.
Oh, heritage. Where am I from? What do I look like? I get so many things.
Well,
I don't
your
speak
last
any other
name
languages.
Is Chan.
Armenian.
I get that.
I'm bad at this, so I won't even guess.
I'll tell you. So my mom is white, blonde hair, blue eyes. And my dad is from Trinidad and Tobago. So he's Trini. And Trini, he's Indian descent, but he has last name of Chan. So I've got like this weird, and my mom's first name is Lee. So it's Lee. She's this white lady named Lee Chan, married to this Indian guy from the Caribbean.
That just messes people up.
I love that.
Yeah, I just write other all the time when I'm filling out forms. Like, I don't know what I am.
Never a dull life.
Multi, yeah. All of the above.
Yeah, it's all of the above. I love it. All right. My last question for you would be, so I love your brain. I just love that you have built the AI stuff that you're doing, the how you put it together, and the storytelling from the open, the closed stuff. You know, what is this episode 246? Is that what we're on?
264.
264?
Yeah, 264.
For live streams, yeah.
Just for the live stream.
That's amazing. That consistency, that drive. Man, I'm really inspired. I'm really inspired by you and what you put together here. My question would be, you know, what drives you to keep doing this, and what is your ultimate goal for this?
Well, what drives me to do this is those guys watching right there. And it's been that way for almost 3 years. So, and to be very honest, like, I am a perfectionist. And so, like, I had to learn to be a perfectionist about this stuff because I didn't know what I was doing in terms of like YouTube, right? And there's a very long story with this, but to kind of like get from point A to point B, it took a lot of work, nights of no sleep, no money. We don't do this for money, guys. Like, like literally this was a passion that turned into now a business. And so, and I hope I'm answering this question properly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like for me specifically for doing all this stuff, I just love doing it. It makes me feel good. Like, this is my canvas. Everything you see here is a canvas, you know, from the desk that you're sitting on to the background, to like the intros and outros, to the music. I've always wanted to like make my own stuff as a kid. You know, like, I don't know if you remember the UPN network, UPN. So like United Paramount Network, and they didn't last long, but I remember I always thought that was cool to start your own TV network. And so like, I never thought I'd be able to do it in my lifetime. And I feel like that's what we're doing here. So that's the kind of format that we're doing here, is we're really trying to be a TV network. And so what do you do with TV networks? Besides you have like live talk shows, you have shows. And so my big thing is I'm a writer. I like to write things. And so I've been writing a comic book, and concurrently, why not turn that into scripts, into like, you know, stuff that you see here. So a lot of that stuff is just my interest of wanting to like do this stuff as a child. And so I'm fulfilling a childhood dream by making all this stuff happen and being an artist. Now, what we're doing here and what we want to do with this is we're looking to be the media company of Web3. At least, you know, one of them. There's going to be more out here like this, but we're looking to have our own niche. We want to create our own original content. We're doing that with the live streams. We have about 3 years of live stream experience, 200 plus guests from CEOs and all this other kind of stuff. So the live stream stuff's easy, but to try to like put yourself out there as a media company is tough because you've never done it before. So it's fun. It's hard. I like challenges. I like to overcome challenges. And yeah, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So in the next couple weeks to a month, you guys will see announcements coming from us on what we're really doing here. And I hope I answered your question.
You did. It actually spurred on. I have to ask you one more question.
Go ahead.
If you were given all the money that you needed to do anything that you wanted, what does that look like?
That's a very good question, man. That's a loaded question. I really got to think on this one right here, because like, for one, like, I've always been good at making things work on like, you know, like on fumes, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so I've always lived my life that way. So like, to give me, you know, not necessarily an endless supply of money, but you throw a bucket of money at me, what can I do? Well, right now, I guess you could just, if we were to kind of like level ourselves out here, I like to call us as the CW of the space, right? But if we had a lot more funding, watch us become the Paramount of the space. And I'm not joking. And we'll leave it at that.
I like that. That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
Yeah.
Throwing it, man.
I do have one more for you before you go. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Who in the Web3 space would you like to work with that you haven't yet?
Oh man, that's a really great question. Oh man, that I haven't worked with yet. I mean,
He's checking through his list. He's got
yeah,
a
I
long
technically
list.
haven't worked with like Raspy or any of them. I've just been a community member. It would be I just like the artwork and what they're doing with the kid called Beast. You know, I love my kid called Cowabunga, and you know, I've made all the fun videos and done all that fun stuff too. I think, and I've reached out to Raspy a few different times, just saying anytime I can help or whatever I can do with my skill set, I'd love to help. I think probably a kid called Beast. I like the fact that they've got the video game stuff coming too, and that's cool to me. My kids are into that. I'm a big Fortnite fan, and always been playing video games for a long time. So, yeah, probably there.
I hope to see that someday. Then
That would be cool. I would love
Wow.
that. And then after that, I would say VV, but that's controversial about Web3 and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I would say VV. I actually have some things in the works that I'm trying to do. I'll just leave it at that.
Oh,
Perfect.
nice. Yep, cooking in the background. That's awesome to hear. You got, stuff happening or will be happening soon.
No, it's Clint. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, so he wanted to ask if you're going to be at Fanatics Fest.
I want to so badly. Put it that way. I would love to be there. We'll see if we can make it happen. I do travel a lot too. Like I said, outside for my work, I'll be in Nashville here at the end of the month, and then traveling to California and a couple other places. I got to go to Disney out there to shoot some stuff. And we'll see. We'll see if I can make it out there. I would love to be there. I want to see my people. I love to see them.
Love that, man. And I love that you're a community builder like the rest of us, and you're all for that connection. So thank you so much, Cowabunga Chan. This has been awesome. I love the fact that you also talk about Raspy. We had him on the channel. If you want, you can watch an old episode. I believe it's Livestream 161. He did a really good job at explaining, the things that they're cooking on this year that you're kind of already seeing in fruition. But he was a really awesome person to have on the channel. And I hope you get to connect with him, in this year going forward. So let's go, man. Thank you so much. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be transitioning over to a Metabeast segment, and where we kind of flip to a different desk, and he shows us different virtual worlds. I know it's super late for you, so you can either duck out or you can hang. It's really up to you, my friend. But thank you so much for coming on. Final inspiring words for the audience, please.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I'm a big believer in faith, and just know that you have a heavenly Father who loves you.
I'm with you on that
Awesome.
one. Let's go.
Thank you.
Right on. And so, guys, that has been the first half of Future Watch right here. We're going to be switching over to virtual destinations. But because Majin the Magic Man is here, we are doing a giveaway tonight, you guys. And tonight, we're going to be giving away a classic McFarlane Toys Digital Superman, because it is the summer of Superman. The movie comes out this week. I'm so stoked for it. I'm a big Superman fan. One of you guys are going to go home with this tonight at the end of the program. So enter that in the chat. And Cowabunga, you gonna hang, or you're just gonna you're gonna duck out?
Man, I'll hang for a little bit. I love to take all this in. That would be fantastic. So,
well, the metaverse is a total different vibe. So if it kills, it kills. I get it.
No, you're good, bro. All right, so guys, we are going to be switching off. So let me make sure, because what we do here is we make sure that Metabeast can cut out his segment and put it on his own YouTube channel. So we do a little trickery here just so he can do that. Guys, we will be right back.
Ready, set, go. Virtual destinations, come ride the wave. Metabeast is blazing through the Web3 craze. Infinite realms where the future's alive. Dive into the meta where adventure thrives.
Metabeast, it's your show.
All right. Well, welcome to Virtual Destinations, and we've had a change of plans. I was taking you to OnCyber, which is one of the early on ones. They gave you a place to put your NFTs and whatnot. I was in there the other day. I did build something. It did not save. So I can't get back to where I was building. I was just going to take people around to some of the things that are already built, and I can't get back in there either. I was
Oh
assured.
no!
I
Where's
was
your
assured
keys?
that I was assured on Cyber still works. I've used 2 different computers to try to do this with 2 different browsers. I keep getting these error messages. I have no idea what they mean. I've tried to investigate. So we are not going to
On Cyber.
on Cyber. We will be going to one called RP1, which is,
Ready
as
Player
you
One?
would guess, it's supposed to be in representation of the Ready Player One, and they just opened up 24/7. This one is a browser-based. Not building in it yet, but I am going to take you around and give you a little showing of it. It is accessible via VR as well.
Nice.
And let's see.
RP1.
We'll wait till you.
Am I sharing it yet?
Yeah, right here, a little
Got it?
YouTubery. Sorry, there you are.
All right.
And so Cowabunga, Metabeast is what we call a poly-metaversalist. He's a metaverse gypsy, and he's been to all of them. So now he comes and shows us all of these metaverses that he's visited.
So cool.
I'll just go in as a guest.
RP1.
All right, and shout out to everybody in the chats. I see you in there. Enter the giveaway hashtag Summer of Superman. Do that right now, please.
That's so fast.
There we go.
All right, so this is an offshoot of Ready Player One, eh?
I don't know that they have a connection to Ready Player One.
Okay.
I do not believe that is exactly, because I know the Futureverse does with the author. But
this is loading really good.
This one's pretty nice. One of the things I like about it is when you immediately upon arrival, you have instructions made available to you. They tell you a little bit about it.
You are here.
I am here.
4th of July.
Let's see.
Be right back.
I was gonna see if I could. It's always fun trying to remember the different. What is it? UIs on how to move around and what.
Oh yeah, cool. Because you go through so many different metaverses.
Yeah,
that's why.
Yeah. So, but this one gives you a little. Tells you a little bit.
Visuals.
Using the VR head. Visuals. Yep. Mobile, which access via mobile is pretty cool. Being accessible desktop, mobile, and VR is definitely what a good metaverse is going to be allow. You should be able to enter it anywhere. But this is just the main city. This is new. I have not seen this before.
That's cool.
What is that? Some kind of
use the force.
Oh.
I don't know if I can go in it or not.
Oh, I see.
But
you're moving it. Okay.
There is let's see, fly mode somehow, some way. I know.
I was gonna say, can you ride it or drive it?
Let's see.
Use the force. Yes, it's Star Wars.
What are we looking at here? What is this?
A ship.
This is a ship.
The starship.
If you see,
I can use the force to lift.
To move it up
We want
and
to know
down.
if I can get into it, and I know there is a. I know there is
an enter door.
There's a fly mode.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm assuming something you can get off of like the Blender Marketplace or something.
What's that?
I'm assuming that ship came from like the Blender Marketplace or something like that.
It's part of the main world. They put it in there. There isn't a marketplace currently.
Okay.
For any of that. A lot of this one in particular will rely on third-party applications being made.
So you can't
They
bring your
haven't
stuff in here.
Not as of yet, no.
Ah, okay.
They haven't done any kind of land sales. They're actually looking for a different way to, a different kind of a name, trying to find a different terminology for Metaverse Land, which they actually had a contest. I entered. I don't remember what my suggestion was.
Zone?
No, mine was something different.
And what is the green? What are those green blocks there on your left? Are those like loading still, or
probably simple shapes that never got like texturized or something like that, right?
I see.
Yeah, so they could be just playing around in here too.
And you said this is fairly new.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, well, they've been working on it, and I had been in here before for some tests, but they are now open 24/7. You can come in here at any time now. It's just rp1.com.
Metabeast, I just realized I never turned on the stream for Decentraland. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I completely
that's
spaced
all right.
on that.
I'm a little pissed at them.
Got you. I'll do it next week.
When you're not pissed with them anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's cool.
Check yourself.
Ooh, wow. It's streaming
that?
so well too. Great playback.
Yeah, it is.
That is rad.
What movie is this?
I don't know.
This looks like a dope movie.
I know. I want to know what it is.
Nothing to worry about.
Well, that's like an actual movie. I thought that was like an AI movie someone made.
I know, it's so hard to tell these days. So it's getting so good.
It is getting good. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's new. I haven't seen that before.
See, that's what I want for like some of these. Is like a streaming board where you can stream in these things.
Okay, here we go.
Ooh, choices, options. What are these?
And so, who runs this place? Like, who's the organization that, or is this like a community build thing?
I don't know the name of the company. I just know the guy. There's a guy.
That's pretty good how fast it loads, though.
Lighthouse.
I've talked to many, many times by the name of Sean.
Okay.
And Cowabunga, do you go into any of these virtual worlds?
I used to, like back in the day when all that stuff was popping off. What was the main one everyone was in? Like
Decentraland.
Yeah, Decentraland, all that stuff. Yeah.
We've been to those.
My issue with I didn't have issues, but like my thought process was like because I play a lot of Fortnite and I kept thinking like, how do we onboard the real world people when Fortnite is just like insane with the graphics and response, and that's what we're used to and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But this is just amazing in the space. Like it's because of the applications that it can do. Like it's different with the blockchain technology and stuff that you can do eventually.
Yeah, games have a long way to go. You know, just building in the metaverse, things have to be so optimized for things to streamline and run so well. One thing these people have said is so the ability to have thousands of people in one instance at the same time, so that you're say there's a concert being held. Most cases, they have to be divided onto different servers. So only maybe 500 people actually are in one space while another 500 are in another. You may or may not be with your friends. Well, they claim to have solved that problem where they can have any number of amount of people all at once.
Wow. That is cool.
Yeah.
This is a workshop area, so I'm guessing it's I don't know if there's the ability or if they have to give it to you to play around and build some things, because this looks like a little build or something somebody's been playing around with.
And it's just there in
Yeah, it's just here in the middle of nowhere, like that
Oh,
lighthouse was.
Okay.
Because I'm at workshop. Let's go to playground beta.
The world seemed to be loading up pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, there's not a whole lot in it either at the moment.
See, look at that. Nas knows what's up. He's using 2 accounts. Smart man.
I just saw that.
Who is?
Hey,
Nas, he's smart right here. Look at Mr. Crafty.
that's because Majin is in the chat, so he wants all his chances.
Yeah, so Cowabunga, Majin, he's our miracle man. He wins any giveaway. If he was on your stream, he would probably win it.
I've been seeing all the comments on X and everything too. He's hilarious. I love his gifts that he uses too.
Yeah, they made him a theme song because he wins so much.
Oh, speaking of theme songs, I love all your AI theme songs for like transitions and opens, like super awesome.
Well, the lyric part, I write up all our lyrics. I'm not a fan of like prompting songs because AI has some weird stuff. So a lot of it is all like from my head. But yeah, it's just fun to like make these things scores.
Oh, I love it even more that it's from you. That's even better.
Yeah, I have a hard time using like, so I use Suno, but like whenever I prompt, it's like, it's weird whenever the AI is like, I fell in love with my toaster. Like, I didn't tell you to say that, right? You know what I mean? So
where did that come from?
That could be a song, though.
It could. It very well.
Little toaster.
Yeah.
Dude.
Where we at, Metabeast? Where we at now?
Is that an ATM machine?
We are at the bar.
Oh, let's go in. Nobody's here.
I know.
It's still early.
Early
in the night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the morning.
You gotta wait for the stragglers to stop on by.
Do you guys like golf at all? Do you guys are like hit the range or play any golf?
So I haven't golfed in a while, but yes, I used to golf. I live in a small town, so we had a driving range in a farmland. So it was kind of cool. You'd like hit balls and hopefully you don't hit a cow in the pasture at the same time. But I don't want to tell you what course it is because I probably dox myself. But yeah, I live in a town where they built it was the strangest 18-hole green I've ever played on with the cows like right around you. So, but yeah, wow. I had a good time before, but I stopped.
That would be cool to see Metabeast to see that in like one of the worlds, like a golf range or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
the golf world. That'd be cool.
Ooh, yeah. If I had all the money in the world, I would literally just chill at the golf range that I actually have one here that's like they have Top Golf technology. So like they're all games stuff. They have like 30 bays. That's what I would do. I would just go there every day, set up a bay, set up like 4 cameras and live stream for like 6 hours while hitting balls and just do a show. And then I would just sell merch. I would just sell like clever merch. That's it. That if I could have my way, that's what I would do.
Well, over here, our golf courses are made through the lava fields, right? And so like when we did work for Golf Channel, I would be the guy running the cable in the lava fields to get those big screen TVs to work, those scoreboards, to get the Wi-Fi to work. But yeah, you don't want to be doing that here. Your shoes, your soles will get torn apart by the lava.
Man, that's why I could only imagine what that's like.
Yeah, I had a funny client. He used to cut my wires because it would be right in front of his home. It was one of these rich guys, right? So the association actually got him in trouble, so he couldn't cut the wire anymore. So every year I would either order hot pink or green, just so he would see my wire across his.
Wow, that's even funnier.
So this is supposed to be Ottawa. I'm assuming Canada.
Oh.
Canada.
Okay. Raven,
right now,
does it look familiar?
Yeah, that's the other island, right? They have like mini islands.
Does this look like Ottawa?
Or the main island.
Well, shout out to one of our producers. She was in the chat, but it is kind of late for her in Canada, so
she might be catching some.
She might be sleeping already, but yeah, she would know.
All right, and it's the only one that they have a city of currently. I don't know why.
I like the way it looks like that. It's almost like what do you call it? Those with the models of like what the architects are gonna be building.
Wait, isn't Ottawa the capital for them?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember when those truckers they were like boycotting and they closed down that whole. I think it was that city that closed down when they had the truckers kind of like do a big boycott.
Well, You know how we always talk about going to the moon?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go
You
to
went.
the moon.
Oh, we're going to the moon,
The
everybody.
moon.
Let's go. And this isn't fake. We're here. So
Really
How
here.
did they have the camera on the moon when they landed?
look at that. Right. It's windy. That's actually pretty neat. I like this. This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
that
I
is
can't wait to see as this one expands, what can be
Yeah.
done.
Can you see the Earth from there?
Need lighting for sure.
Little
You
speck.
should be able to. You should be able to see their orbits too. So let's
Ooh,
just
that's
go to the
Wow.
we'll go to the
there we go.
space station because I know you can get a good view of the Earth from there.
Oh, look how fast.
Cool.
Wow.
Is that you floating?
What was that? Like hands?
Yeah.
That's my avatar.
Oh, I see feet.
TMI.
We are
Oh,
here.
see, there's the sun.
Okay.
There's
Where's
Superman.
Mars?
Somewhere I should be able to see the space station because that's where we. There it is. There
Oh,
it is.
there it is. Oh, wow.
Shout out to
Wow.
G-Lo. We got the Hawaiian in the chat. What's up, my brother?
Oops. I moved
I
too
saw
fast.
Fro Ikami gave $9.99, or what was that earlier where it popped up?
Yeah, that was a super
Yeah,
chat
bro,
from
super
Froey
chat.
Comey. I got a funny story while we're floating around space. You brought up like meeting people in from Web3, right? Well, Fro and I, we didn't realize this, but we were on the set of Godzilla together. I was an extra, and so was he. Like the old one from Matthew Broderick back in the 99s.
That was a great one. Yeah.
Yeah. So Taco Bell hired us. I was a part of a Tahitian drumming troupe, and they hired us to be natives. What I mean? In the background. And then they also hired us to do some of the presentations. And I didn't realize Fro was a part of that movie. And I probably met him at Crafts, and I didn't know. So
What a movie with Matthew Broderick too. Of like all the people at that time, like from Ferris Bueller to like, hey,
to the Godzilla doctor, right?
Godzilla, bro. Like, okay, if it's not Matthew Broderick at that time, who else would have played that role? I don't even know.
Gosh, who's the guy from Weird Science?
Oh,
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Val Kilmer? No, he not.
No, he was. But Val Kilmer would be one. He was in. Shoot,
Michael Anthony.
He was in Breakfast Club and all that stuff too.
Michael
right?
Anthony Hall.
Michael Anthony Hall. There you go.
Yeah, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
He was
Wild
in From the Hip. Shoot from the Hip? No, From the Hip. That was another good one too. A lawyer movie. Crazy.
I don't think I've seen that.
Matthew Broderick. Jeez.
From the hip or the hip?
No, just him in general. He's an interesting actor because he's a very somber-ish actor, right?
Yeah, which was such an interesting choice for that. Like, hey, you're this funny, sarcastic.
He's like Billy Crystal, right? Like they kind of ease you into the comedy, right?
You know who I thought? I thought Mike Wazowski was Billy Crystal for the longest time.
It's not?
Wait, is it?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Oh, okay. Well, who was the other guy who I thought was? Maybe it was Timon and Pumbaa. Maybe Timon I thought was him. And I was like, it's not him. It's the other guy from Mousetrap.
Oh,
But yeah, it's always interesting to see who's voicing these characters.
some people surprise you.
Bro, that's funny.
Matthew Broderick kept asking us for good Maui Wowie. We come on. Come on. Do I have to tell my Lost story? Because I do have a Lost season 2 story.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
My buddy was a grip, so I got to go behind the scenes of season 2. I got to see the hatch.
The Dharma Initiative.
I got to go to a rap party, and that was fun.
Oh,
Terry
wow.
O'Quinn, really awesome actor. The bald guy that played Locke, I enjoyed his conversation. I talked to him for like 3 hours that night. It was fun.
Man.
So we're on Mars now.
Ah, okay. Can you drive that? Is that movable?
That's the rover.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I can go walk through it. Now, the fun stuff has yet to come, I guess, but I still think it's cool to see. It's really the first one. I think that's. I don't think I've been to space anywhere but here.
That's cool, man.
I wish you. I swear, there's a whole menu of stuff that's missing because you should be able to see the orbits, the other planets. I went out to Pluto one day,
That's not a planet.
It's very cold and lonely. It's very cold and lonely. Anyway.
I remember when that happened too. I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I know.
Right? I was like,
it was big things.
Like,
we
Gilo,
were
real quick.
misinformed in school, man.
Gilo, real quick. I am doing a cartoon, and you're gonna love this, Gilo, because it's with Hawaiian characters. So yeah, DM me later.
dude, voiceover is such a thing. I tell my son all the time, like, I could be a voiceover character all the time, like, and he's like, no, you can't do it. And that is such a fun thing to do.
I want to try. So like, there's an NFT project I haven't released yet that we teased last year about my son. My son was just born about like 9 months ago. So we created an NFT around him and his friends. And now I want to create that into a cartoon. So now with AI, I just have to do the voiceover. So that's something I'm slowly working on.
Here you can see the Earth rotating.
Yeah.
Nice.
What are those lines, Metabeast? What, like, kind of shooting out?
That's what I was trying to find. That's the orbit. The orbital.
Oh.
You have reached space, and we're aligned to the orbital plane. It says here. So, and
The final
here's
frontier.
against the sun.
Follows
But
the line.
You used to be able to see the other planets along these orbits. But people, you'll be able to build on the planets as well.
Oh, cool.
So, eventually, is one of the things they have told me.
So now they just got to get the people in here, which is always the hardest thing to do.
Yep. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna go to Saturn.
If you
I'm
build
not
it,
sure how close they are to
They will
that,
come.
but
That is a truth right there, Cowabunga. Literally, like, some people, they go out to try to like get people to come. Sometimes you just got to attract them to you instead.
facts.
there's Earth.
That is cool.
So
It is.
I think that's about it for this one. At least
I thought the Earth was flat. Why is it round?
Well, once you go over where you can't see around the corner, that it just ends there.
yeah. See, there's nothing over here on this other side anyway,
Yeah.
right?
We're
The only
staring
part
to the
that-
top. We're at the
yeah.
top.
The only part that exists is what we see, nothing else.
Now, I don't know how the other people on the other side of the flat world are staying grounded, but
Oh, is New Zealand there?
They don't go to the
Did you
deep
say
end.
New
That's all.
Zealand?
I mean, I don't understand how. Yeah, how do you get to those people on the other side of the?
Planet?
Yeah, then
No, man.
Yeah.
it's flat. I mean, have we even met them people on the other side?
Let's not even talk about Antarctica,
Ooh,
okay?
that
Right? Yeah.
You gotta
Apparently, you
ask
can't
the
even
pilot.
fly
They'll
up there
tell
as
you.
an influencer. So,
So I'm gonna call it on that one for now with
all right.
RP1 instead of On Cyber. Thanks On Cyber for being whatever it's doing. So, and thank you, Cowabunga, for hanging around, checking it out with us. Appreciate that.
That was
as
cool,
well.
man. Yeah, I love it.
So
Yeah, he does this every Tuesday. He tries to take us to a different world. I think last week we went to the VeeFriends, and the week prior Decentraland. So it's been a lot of fun.
Cool. I'd love to go to the VeeFriends. That's awesome.
You've never been?
I've never been. I've seen all the stuff and watch it all the time, but I've never been. I just watched the demos, and then I saw everyone making really cool stuff. And I've been looking through the marketplace for like some things I want to buy for the VeeFriends one day. So,
Well, my friend, we actually have a show dedicated for the VeeFriends called Enter the Verse on Thursdays with one of our producers. His name is The Biggest Bro, and he also co-hosts with D. So if you want to learn anything about the VeeFriends, that's your show.
I'm gonna plug in. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure that I'm there to check it out. That's awesome. Thanks for the alpha.
Of course. I'm sorry, Metabeast. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Yeah, we've been to Substrata, Voxels, Decentraland. Coming up yet, we have Income Island, Somnium Space.
You've been to Second Life?
Second Life.
Oh,
that
Second
was an
Life
interesting
that
one.
was our very first one. That's the OG of metaverses, I would say. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting. We actually interviewed an OG that was in Second Life from the very beginning. It's interesting to interview these people that actually this becomes their lifestyle, right? And they actually embed themselves in the metaverse or the digital verse for a while, and it changes them. So it's a very interesting. That was an interesting episode, Metabeast. So
Yeah.
It was a great one. It was a great one. I loved it. It was cool having Carmen on here. I was glad she was to share, more information than I know. I go to all these, so I know what I know. There's people that are in them that's where they congregate. They don't go to the other ones like I do as much, and so they know a little bit more. So it's always nice to have somebody like that come along if they're able. So
yeah, so it's fun to learn about new verses.
All right, close us out, Metabeast.
We're probably doing Income Island next week. That's
nice.
Big download. I'll get that done. Some people I know that have a project called Meta Rides are in there.
Yeah.
Which I have a few of those, so we'll be doing that. And as always, thank you guys for coming along, checking out the metaverse as it is today. Hopefully much better tomorrow. Be safe, be well, be you.
Virtual destinations come ride the wave. Metabeast is blazing through the Web3 craze. Infinite realms where the future's alive. Dive into the meta where adventure thrives.
Guys, that has been an awesome episode of Virtual Destination. Thank you once again, Metabeast, for taking us on another trip. As always, we always have a good time. I know the audience enjoyed it. And we dragged along Cowabunga with us. How was your first trip to Virtual Destinations, my friend?
That was awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks for sharing and showing all that fun stuff. I definitely learned some stuff, so it's very cool.
Let's go. And guys, we have this giveaway that we're doing that didn't want to show up. There it is. We got this McFarlane Toys digital Superman that we're going to be giving away right now. I'm going to give you guys one more minute, and then we're going to be out of here, guys. Cowabunga, thank you so much. I was going to ask my wife to close out the show, but I think she's a little bit busy with the child. So, guys, thank you so much. Like and retweet when you can. We have 205 people watching right now. I appreciate everyone watching right now, as well as the replay. Metabeast, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Nope, all good. Thank you so much, Cowabunga. It's very nice meeting you. Maybe hopefully see you in San Diego if you get to make it. If not, we'll catch you down the line somewhere, I'm sure.
Let's go. Looking forward to it. All
right, D, close out the show, please.
Oh, yes. I just want to say a huge thank you, Cowabunga, for coming on. I know it's really late for you. So I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. And yes, taking around to go check out a metaverse with us in Metabeast. Metabeast, appreciate you as always. Thank you for showing us other worlds. And chats, thank you all for being here. The usual people that show up, appreciate everyone, as well as community members from the VeeFriends community. We always like to connect with other people, so I really appreciate you, Cowabunga, for bringing other people to the show. And yeah, we're gonna go and connect with them and check out VeeFriends. I'm gonna go look now and see what I can get. Check out the comics, the cartoons, and soon to be like manga stickers, I believe. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. There's a lot of anime manga fans out there too.
I can see these gears turning. I can see your gears turning.
But yeah, I appreciate you for being here, and hope everyone has a good night. And just appreciate everybody for being here.
And with that being said, guys, good luck.
Good luck,
Majin or anybody.
Majin Gate. Boycott Majin.
Good luck, everyone. Who's it gonna be? Nas! Let's go!
All right.
Let's go. Congrats, brother.
Shout out to my brother Nas right here. Love him, man.
That's awesome.
Nas, I have a good story with Nas that we'll tell one day on how we met. But we met in a chat. So shout out to you, Nas. Shout out to everyone coming in, hanging out at the show. And guys, before we go, I do have one more commercial to give you guys. I'll be right back.
Step into the future of content with True Media Group, where innovation ignites. Join our live stream shows covering Web3, digital and physical collecting. We cover it all. Also check out our original AI video content, like Lost Tides and The Rider.
Fire! Come back here, Brown!
You can't catch me, bitches!
Next, let's hear from testimonials. Here's what the people have to say.
True's mixed content is mind-blowing.
The live streams are top-notch.
We love that VR radio.
That's our jam.
The biggest bro is my hero.
That future watch is definitely a watch. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it.
That Enter the Verse got me wanting to visit all these virtual worlds.
We love Aloha Friday.
The show is with us.
The real umbrella. Make sure to like and subscribe to True Media Group, the future of content.
You deserve to live.
Warning, structural failure pilot.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate everyone for supporting every single time. This has been Future Watch. We will be back on Enter the Verse this Thursday, which I believe is going to be a community kind of like showcase. And then on Friday, guys, Dee, who do we have on Friday?
We have Stony Eye. Thank you, Metabeast. Yeah. So we're gonna be talking with him, and I like. This is gonna be my first time interacting with him. So I'm sure it's gonna be a great show, and yeah, just hanging out, talking story, and getting to know another member from a different community that will probably end up being a part of too as well. So yeah, we're just finding communities and people to interact and connect with.
He's a father. He's a creator, an artist. He's a DJ, musician. And in the metaverse, that's how I met him in Decentraland. And I've met him in real life. So awesome guy. And can't wait.
Well, he's going to meet a Portuguese on Friday, and I'm going to talk his brains off. So let's go.
Good.
Oh, man. What's that?
Bring the ganja.
He can
The
have all
Maui
he
Maui.
wants. He can have all the Maui Hawaii he wants. But
Guys, the good stuff, man.
Yeah,
I
man.
need the beach, man.
Right
Guys.
there, the beach. Oh boy.
We're out of here, man. Catch you later. Aloha.
Virtual destinations.
The wrong outro. My bad.